Good and gracious God, we just give you thanks and praise for all your many blessings, and we call upon your name and ask your special blessing upon the fiscal court meeting today, that you will be with the members of the court, and that they might work together for the good of our county and our citizens. And so we just ask you to bless them in their work, help them to discern what is best, and that you would strengthen them in their roles and watch over them. We ask this prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Father. Thank you. We'll go ahead and rise for the pledge. Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will call the meeting to order. First thing we have on the agenda is to approve the minutes from the previous meeting. Motion by Tommy, second by Neil. All in favor? Next we have approved the payment of the bills. Motion by Neil, second by Tommy. All in favor? Any opposed? Next we have approved treasurer's budget transfers as presented. Motion by Darren, second by Kevin. All in favor? Any opposed? Next we have approved treasurer's monthly settlement. Motion by Brian, second by Darren. All in favor? Any opposed? Next we have approved jailer's payment of bills. Motion by Tommy, second by Darren. All in favor? Any opposed? Next we have approved jailer's budget transfers as presented. Motion by Brian, second by Kevin. All in favor? Any opposed? Next we have approved jailer's monthly settlement. Motion by Darren, second by Tommy. All in favor? Any opposed? Next we have approved jailer's purchase of road crew trucks. Jason, you want to say anything about that?
I gave everybody a copy of quotes, and these are government contract pricing from Paul Miller Ford, which is who holds the government contract for Ford. And I'd like to ask to purchase 3 at a price of $29,521, and 1 which has a utility bed at a price of $38,210. These are crew cab 4x4 long wheelbase trucks. And this money comes out of our commissary funds. Since we use these trucks to run our Class E work program, then we're able to purchase those through that account.
Any discussion? Not entertain a motion. Motion by Tommy, second by Damon. All in favor?
Thank you.
Next we have approved jailer's policy of procedures.
There's no changes in that. We have to have it approved every year by you guys, so I'm just asking for this year's approval.
Make a motion.
Motion by Brian, second by Darren. All in favor? Any opposed? Next we have approved sheriff's monthly settlement. Motion by Neil, second by Kevin. All in favor? Next we have accept clerk's 2019 year-end statement of revenues, expenditures, and excess fees. Y'all got a copy of that? Motion.
Make a motion.
Motion by Brian, second by Neil. All in favor? Next we have accept Grayson County Board of Health minutes from January 14th, 2020 meeting. Motion by Tommy, second by Darren. All in favor? Any opposed? Next we have approved to sell county surplus property. Y'all got a copy of those, I think, also, the trucks and those. I think they emailed it to you as well.
Okay, I missed it. I had a failure on that.
Yeah, it's dump trucks and some other items out the road department, so it is.
All equipment.
Yeah. Yeah, we just have to get approval to sell the surplus. Motion by Darren, second by Tommy. All in favor? Any opposed? We're going to set the reading of the right-of-way ordinance. We're going to have some discussion on that here. Jeremy, you want to?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Judge. Magistrates, I've given you a copy here, and if you recall, it's been quite some time since we had the first reading on this matter. I want to update you at this time. What we have is this, just to recap, an ordinance to keep the right-of-way clear. The right-of-way given by the Kentucky Revised Statutes for all county roads is 15 feet from the center. Some of the issues that we've come up, not to belabor it, but just to remind you, is that we have issues with different things being on the side of the road that prevent drivers from being able to safely operate down those roads. Junk vehicles, we even have a building, different things in there. This ordinance is not a new creation as far as different counties are concerned, but we have to make sure that we have it right for our county. After the first reading, I heard from a few different magistrates concerning calls they had received concerning fences, posts, things like that that have been up there. They say, you know, are we going to be fined because our fence row is technically within that 15 feet? Well, I've been working on adding an exception to that. I think that's important. We're not trying to prevent, those aren't what we're after. We're not after property owners having to dig things up and remove things that have been there for a long time. So I've added that into that exception. I'm 100% behind this ordinance. However, I want to take this opportunity for any of you all to discuss it among yourselves your feelings. But I think that, to be honest with you, I think I'm still fine-tuning it just a little. And there's still some calls coming in just recently. I'd like to fill all those questions so that we get this thing right the first time, and then hopefully it'll help us for years and years to come. Now with that, I'll leave it to the magistrates if anybody has any discussion concerning any of the calls they received or any other concerns they might have about this ordinance.
Well, like I said, I've had people call me, you know, about the older fences, and I told them that, you know, it wouldn't bother them. But down the road, if they put up new fences, I told them, you know, they have to make sure they got it back for them. That's one of the questions I was having.
I'm assuming the only way that would really be a problem is if we had to do some type of maintenance on creek bed or installation of the culvert, something like that, you know, maybe move it or something.
Well, we still have a right, Mr. Whiteley, we still have a, you're absolutely correct, but we still have a right that we can remove things. The county can remove things off that right of way despite this. This is more of a penalty to kind of change that behavior like we talked about. But, you know, if we saw something that needed to be moved, then we can move it since it's on our right of way. But generally, the road department's pretty amazing at working with people like that, and so I wouldn't think they'll continue. That is a good point.
And I've had several calls considering the same thing. We didn't want to make it a hindrance to the public. Elderly that's had family farms, and the roads has increased in size over a period of decades even. And I don't want it to see that it's going to hinder someone that's already in financial straits probably. They don't need to hire a bulldozer that's going to cost several $1,000s. It's been there for quite some time. And my other concerns is somebody's actually trying to move something and in the process of trying to, I want to make sure that limitations are made to accommodate them. I mean, I think we should, it's not just what we do here today, but what the next court will do after us. Anything that we do, that's my opinion. We want to make sure that everybody is taken care of in the best manner that we can, the easiest manner that we can, and the least financial disruption in their lives that can be done. And I have had several calls discussing it.
I've had several calls about it too, and I know with it being on the agenda for second reading of the right-of-way ordinance, to absolutely do it proper, like it needs to be done, and you all know that's the way we need to do it, is if there's any kind of revisions to that ordinance, it actually needs to have another first reading to absolutely, to make it, you know, to go through like it should. So, I think that you need to ask some of your constituents about, you know, about it. And Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong, that there's already KRS on the books that states right-of-ways for county roads, correct?
Yes, yes.
And you, without putting you on the spot, I don't expect you to quote it off the top of your head, but I think, is it from ditch line to ditch line, or how does that actually go?
Well, the KRS actually indicates that unless, we have some roads that are on the books as a right-of-way given to the county at one point in forming a county road. The KRS cites that if it doesn't have a specific right-of-way document filed in the clerk's office, and then the minimum is 15 feet from the center. And so that's what we take with this ordinance, is basically we're occupying that 30 feet. And so that's what we can dictate what we do with it. And so I've heard the ditch line, but I haven't seen that in this KRS that I've done. And so, but that's also something that I can take into researching this, because that's kind of what we're doing, is opening up here. So anybody else got anything else they've heard that we want to put in the hopper before I try to do this first reading again, the amended one?
And is there violations on the KRS that are, that if anybody is not in compliance with them, is there already violations in place?
There's not, but what there is.
So that's the reason for this ordinance, basically.
Yes, because when I reached out to Rich Ornstein, the road guru with TACO, he indicated, yes, we can remove these obstacles. We can have the road department remove any obstacles in the right of way at any time. However, that becomes a burden on us as to where to put these items or the cost. And so what other counties have done is to do an ordinance like this to help keep the right of way clear, to put the onus on the landowner to clear that right of way. Because, we have to be able to keep the county roads functioning properly. So it's a safety issue. So that's why this ordinance is in addition to our ability to just pull things off there. If we see a tree that's on the right of way that we believe is in, we take care of it. If we see a car that's there, we can pull it and put it in a lot. We don't want to be in that business as a county, and so, I'd rather put it into the court system where me and my staff can kind of, they don't have their day in court, obviously, in the court system, so.
Yeah, there's some other things that's come up. We've had some people call about removing trees off the right of way, and some of these trees are massive that's on some of these old county roads. And we're not in the tree removal business. I mean, if it falls, we can come and, cut it out of the roadway. But what I found over the past couple of complaints that I've got that's been about tree removal, it's property disputes. And fiscal court is not in the business over property disputes. We don't settle property disputes. And just because someone doesn't like a tree because it's got some branches falling down on the road or something, I don't think we need to get into that. And that's what I told Jeremy. We need to clarify and make sure that, coming from my background, I can assure you, if you don't think it's gonna happen, that's when it happens. So you wanna make sure that you cover all your bases and everything's covered. So if there's any more discussion, I feel like we probably need to hold this off and let the magistrates get with Jeremy, and you get with your constituents and ask them how, what's best for your districts. And like I said, the KRS is actually on the books now. So if we need to, we could apply that, but, it's gonna be up to the county's burden to take care of that if we have to remove anything from the right of ways that's actually stated in Kentucky Revised Statute. So, I say just get with your constituents, talk to them, get with Jeremy. Let's make sure that everything is addressed, from trees to fences to everything. That way, when we do it, it's done once, and that's all we have to mess with it. So, if there's any other discussion between anybody.
I ain't gonna call one.
So, Jeremy, would you concur, or?
Yes, that'd be great. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Because even if we move slowly, if we move correctly, then we're gonna end up in the right spot, I think. And ultimately, it will be your all's vote, but I want you to vote on the right thing.
Yeah.
So if we could move it, I'd ask for the first hearing to be set on the second Tuesday of next month.
Second Tuesday of March?
If that.
That's fine with me.
Okay. That gives everybody enough time.
I do believe it gives us time to fine tune this, and I think it does need to be. I'm not saying it's not in the right direction, but it needs to make sure that we get it to the, yes, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Is anybody here on the right-of-way ordinance? Bob, you got 2 minutes.
I appreciate
You got a lot going
y'all, giving me time. I've been in a mud hole down there since Jeremy landed bulldozed, and I still got some cars up above the house. I didn't move, I've been working on it, worked on it the other day, get stuff over that 15 foot. 15 foot and 6 inches maybe.
On all your stuff on the road?
This all accumulated, it's all come about, I feel like I told you the other day, Bob's fault. Okay. Darren and I had a difference. I asked Darren asked me to support him when he started running against Presto. And the Jerry Barnes and Orville Green, their wives, both wives were there. I said, I want to ask you one thing. Everybody's fussing about my old car, which they are. They were perfect. That car has been in our family since 1873. There is a right of way, yeah, I understand that. But there's nothing in writing because Steve here and looked. Somebody complained before. He said, Bob, they can't find nothing on the book. That's what Jeremy's trying to rectify now. And I don't blame him. I don't blame Darren. But
Yeah,
Darren,
there's KRS on the books.
that's true. But I'm not disputing that. I'm trying to do what you all are wanting me to do.
Right.
So
We
somebody can
appreciate
save face, me or somebody else.
Mhm.
Okay, y'all gave me time, Mastrix, I all agree, that I do appreciate that. But I'm sitting in a mud hole down there. I've talked to Damon about it, and he's been up there all day too.
And we
I
understand,
can't get,
Bob,
I
it's
can't
got
get
nothing
back.
to
But
bring.
what I want to say here, I don't want to get anybody in any trouble. Darren said, I asked him what about my old cars, and Darren walked over and said, well, he
Well, I can
said,
assure you, you're not gonna get anybody in this court in trouble.
well,
So,
Okay, but what I
if
wanna
you
say-
wanna
what I
address
wanna-
if you wanna address the reading of the right-of-way ordinance, feel free.
that's what I'm
But
trying to do.
if
That's what I'm trying
if
to
we're
do.
doing
That's what
anything
brought all
else,
this to head.
do what?
That's what brought all this to head.
Okay,
He said, I feel like if you own a piece of property, and Jeremy knows what our family problem is, because he was my opposing attorney, and we get along fine.
good guy.
I do, I get along fine with him. I lost, but I still get along fine.
Yeah,
Okay, but he told me, he said, if you own a piece of property, you'll be able to do what you want to. 2 weeks later, I had a person that you know well, that worked for you, and it's in his family, to come and tell me, he is going around telling everybody what he's gonna do to you. I did not appreciate it. So he done turned me.
well, Bob, do you
he
have
turned me
any,
into-
wait a minute. Do you have anything that pertains to this
I want you
right-of-way
to,
ordinance?
Jeremy knows, can and may is illegal. broad legal
Anything
term.
other than that, get with me
Okay,
during business hours, or get with Jeremy during business
Okay.
hours, and we discuss,
I'll do
we'll
that.
discuss tit for tat,
okay,
okay?
I'll
But
do
not during the meeting,
okay.
okay?
But what I wanna do is, I wanna say that can and may
Okay,
are big words.
yeah,
You can show partiality in one district, that's what I was telling the guys here, that voting on this,
trust me, we understand,
from one to the other.
we understand, Bob, thank you,
Thank you.
all right. And we know it's muddy down there, just try to,
I'm trying.
yeah,
I'm trying,
it's
and
done
I
nothing but rain, we
I won't do
understand.
it again.
Yeah, I understand. All right, other new business, we're gonna go ahead and table the second reading, so, what's that? Yeah, let's go ahead and vote on it to postpone. Of course, we'll need another first reading on that. So let's go ahead and vote to table it until the second.
I'll second.
All right, motion by Darren, second by Damon, all in favor? Any opposed? Other new business, Norman?
Just that, we totaled one of our cruisers. I don't know if Keiko's gonna make the check out too for the purchase to pay us for that car. So, I just wanna give you a heads up that you might be getting a check from Keiko. That's what it's for. We've already actually got the new vehicle, we gotta get a truck. They're not making Dodge Chargers anymore that I know of. So we went ahead and got another truck, and it's in our possession right now, but whenever we get the money, they said I can just pay them when we get the money from Keiko. And we're gonna pay another, I guess, an extra $5,000 for a new car, a new truck.
Joe Bray?
I got a call from Travelers Insurance today. They needed our federal ID number to issue the check for the reimbursement on the indigent who got run over with the falls.
Okay.
So we're gonna issue a check to fiscal court, I think. I don't know if it'll come to my office or come here, but it's for $675, so what we pay for cremation, we get paid back. The insurance company from the guy that run over.
I think there's a House bill out right now that's supposed to help you all out a little bit with that
With
help.
indigents,
Yeah, yeah,
oh, so we had 10, so.
yeah, I think it'll probably pass the House, I don't know. Jason?
Nothing new, Judge. Swelling.
Yep. Kevin?
No,
There.
just the issues I told you about, the road,
Yeah.
ditches and stuff stopped up, but other than that.
Okay. Thomas? Nothing? Damon?
I'm not saying.
Nothing? Brian?
Nothing, but the bridge looking good down Tiger Park.
Yeah, it is. Nothing? Jeremy?
Just a little bit of advertisement. There's we had, as you all know, we had a big tragedy here. I guess it was last week and the week before with the explosion, the house explosion. Miss Angela Young and her family. There is a benefit on Sunday at the Caneyville School, and so I know a lot of you plan to attend, but I would encourage that. We've been in contact with the families, some through our office, and it just they need some help.
Okay. All right, we got a lot of folks here, so who wants to go first? I'll open up the floor for complaints, so we'll give you a couple minutes, and then we'll move on. So, anybody who wants, Brian, you wanna go?
All I wanted to do
If you don't care when you all stand up, I mean, I know who you are, but you might
Okay.
not, and state your name and where you live at, and because it's gotta go in the minutes.
Right. Danny Woosley, and I live on Caney Creek Road. And all I want to do is see if y'all can do something about, and this is old news, but the Amish need to put manure bags on them buggies. You cannot drive anyway. On Sundays, it's the worst. We was going to Bowling Green the other Sunday, 2 Sundays ago. They had church at the old Charles Bishop's house, and we practically had to ride on the wrong side of the road to stay out of it. I mean, and it ain't just a pile here and there, it's just a mess. And of course, I live on Caney Creek, and and they're not bad neighbors. As far as all that, we all get along. I do work for them, they work for me. But it's just dangerous on that road when you're trying to dodge the horsemen there. I go to Amish in Morgantown, they have bags on their buggies. And I've seen Amish in Irvington on 60 bags, so it can be done if they want to do it. Now, I don't know what y'all think about it, if anything, but they don't seem to care or be trying. That's the only problem I got with them.
Have you all, I mean, I know y'all talked to them, y'all neighbors down there. Have they said anything about trying?
No.
They don't
What-
have to.
They just
What
say
little
they
bit
don't
I've been
Told me
told,
last week, they didn't have to.
he's talked to them more than me, but what I've taught, they act like they can't train the horses. I've had horses all my life. And you can about teach a horse to do anything you want, And it ain't that they can't, they just don't want to fool with it. I mean, that's
Yeah, I think
the
the last,
idea I get from
I
them.
think the last meeting we had, they said it was just sort of an inconvenience.
Well, sure it is. It is for me. I ride a motorcycle
That's basically what they
too.
said, and I think we actually looked into that a little bit to see what counties had ordinances, and we sort of reached out to some of them, and we couldn't actually find a county that had an ordinance for that particular thing. Now, some of the cities could, but we couldn't find a county that actually had an
But
ordinance.
wouldn't they be liable for leaving, just not what the horse is leaving, but aren't they liable for what they leave in the road?
Well,
Is there something there that,
Could we do an ordinance? Legally?
I mean, if I left a spare tire in the middle of the road.
Now, guys,
would I be liable?
last year when I come to you, you told me there was a judge that ruled it was unconstitutional for them to make wear a bag.
mhm.
And I asked Jeremy here a few weeks ago to find out what judge was that, because I was gonna go visit him.
Yeah, it would actually be it'd be a Supreme Court judge up in Frankfurt.
And I think that was on the lights though, wasn't it? That was on the.
Yeah,
That wasn't
yeah,
on the
there
bag.
was a bunch of case law that came down. Of course, I'll be honest with you, Brian, I haven't looked at it. for a long time.
When Tim Moore was senator, he sent me messages on this, and he knows about it.
Well, I know there was other
They said,
counties that did
their
it.
exact words on that was it was a safety issue
Yeah.
for the kid putting the bag on.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you,
which,
I believe it.
Should a kid be driving a horse and buggy out on the road?
Well, you know, hey, you know what my, you know
that,
what
that,
I know.
that's my take too. I mean,
I agree
it
with
can't
that.
be much of a
Should a kid-
safety issue if
I have
if
to have a
child
license.
is riding a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old child's got a horse and buggy, or even a wagon with steel wheels on it out on the road. That's the same same thing.
And there was an accident.
Just 2 weeks,
last
two
Sunday.
Sundays ago,
Yeah,
they destroyed a buggy. I seen it after the fact.
yeah. I'll be honest with you guys. The Amish thing is going to take a lot of research to look into, and I mean they're.
Y'all don't realize how bad it is down our way.
Brian, I know. My wife's family lives down there.
But I'm just like Danny.
It's
Hey,
every day.
Yeah.
Couple Sundays ago, what I'm gonna address the court about is the mud, but I was out the other Sunday morning taking pictures and video. And I was curious where they was going to church, and I rode down, I don't even know the name of the road, rode out the road, county
Mulberry
road,
something now.
turned around, come back out. I didn't even know they'd built a house down there. 2 days later, I went and talked to my neighbor, and they was irate. There was 2 of his sons run up there. I just got in the truck.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I told him I was sorry for anything I've said or done, but I shouldn't have to live like that.
Yeah.
They said they didn't have to gravel the driveway, they didn't have to gravel, they didn't have to worry about tracking mud out on the road. They didn't have to do none of that.
Yeah, we need to do some research as far as let Jeremy look into some of the laws. I know that the Supreme Court have a lot of cases that pertain to Amish in the past year that's come up, because it's not just here, it's happened everywhere. You know, they've come from Pennsylvania and Ohio and Missouri and different places, and they're, you know, that's just what they do. That's how their religion is. They go around, and you know, everybody knows how the Amish.
Are they not subject to our law?
Yes, they are subject to our laws.
Exactly, though, is it?
Well,
No?
they don't have a motor vehicle, so no, that doesn't pertain to KRS. So, I mean, Jeremy would probably be able to explain it a little bit better than I could, but.
Let me ask Jeremy, can you give a man a DUI for riding a horse?
Sure. Well, depends on if it's a motor vehicle.
This is,
Can't harm them.
I think what they're talking about is the one in Graves County. In Graves County, the group of Amish was convicted on refusing to display just a simple fluorescent orange triangle on their horse-drawn buggies. But they're stating on the basis of doing so, it violated their religious convictions.
We had that same issue here.
So that's what that's about. As far as the catch bags, I don't think there's been anything to.
There's a manure,
But-
There
there's a manure
been
case
some.
out of Logan County, which I talked to the county attorney down there, Joe Ross, about. And it kind of, it's unclear. No real precedent was set there. I think it went up to a higher court, but there was not really a clear ruling on it. And so we would have to further research the issue.
Yeah,
And it's just more or less morals.
What about the cemetery?
Why do you want to move in here and make a mess? And they
yeah,
just don't care.
I agree. I don't disagree with you. You won't hear me disagree at all, and I don't think anybody else will.
And I mean, it's been a year since I've been up here.
Yeah,
New magistrates, we was gonna get something done.
yeah.
There's nothing been done in a year.
Yeah, like I said, we're just gonna have to, we're just gonna have to research it and see, because like I said, if, maybe we end up having to be the sponsor county. I mean, I don't know. Because I feel that there's a lot of people that's in the same boat that you're all in. They don't like driving through it. I don't like driving through it.
We don't even park our vehicles in the garage no more.
Yeah, so, and I've had a lot of people ask me about it, about the issues with the horse manure on the roads. So,
It's out easily too, isn't it?
well, they bicycle.
That's it. My sisters live out there and they're
Yeah.
like, they ride bicycles much out here. They
Bicycles
hardly ever-
do. The ones down on Caney Creek Church Road, they're, I don't, like I said, I'm speaking out of turn when I talk about, what class they are or how they determine what they do and what they don't do. There's a different classification of them as far as what they ride, how they travel, and I don't even think those guys down there will even ride the vehicle. I don't know.
I just want to say this, and I'm not offending anybody here, but we can't, and I know this court can't do it either. They can't make laws that supersede the laws that are already on the books. And what's going to happen is, and I'll just tell you that, you get the ACLU involved, and that's what's going to happen in this case. If we require them to put catch bags on, and no other county does it, then it's number one. If they rule the same way they did on the fluorescent buggy, on the fluorescent triangle, they're going to rule the same way on this too. And
Yeah, but how's that against the religion?
and that's not a question for us or this
Right.
court. I agree with you. I'm on the same.
I know.
I totally
Yeah,
agree. Y'all
that's
preach to
something,
the
that's
choir.
something that we can't do. Everybody's
Right.
in court, so.
It seems to me, and I'll shut up, anything they don't want to do is against the religion, is what it boils down to. And that's it. I ain't gonna say no more.
And
They
I
have a
won't,
religion
and I
rule.
won't disagree.
But Judge, may I ask one more thing and I'll shut up?
You can say, floor's open, sir.
The sanitary end of it, is there no leverage there that can be created? Just the sanitary part of it. If one of us goes and does our business in the road,
Well, what if
whether
your dog
or
or
if
your
a
cat
dog,
does?
with the dog,
If your dog or your cat, I mean, I ain't gonna stop sanitary.
Well,
Dog or
in the
your-
road, though.
Well, your dog or your
Well,
cat,
no,
wanna get out
I
the
don't
road.
ride my dog up
That's
the
right.
The county's got an ordinance right now, the garbage truck's gotta have a tarp over the bed. And Norman made this comment, ain't it trash on the road?
Ain't that kind of the same end of it?
Ain't, Norman, Jim Sims said he's gonna bring his dump truck dumping dirt through town, see how everybody, and you pulled up a statue, said anything fall from your vehicle, it's against the law. Hey, that's their vehicle.
That's right.
Well,
That
then you get
was
into-
raised in the court too. It was raised in that meeting.
I mean,
Yeah, and this is the thing too, Brian, but I mean, of course, like I said, I'm not an attorney.
I know,
I mean,
and
I'm
I'm not
not.
either.
And Jeremy, you can back me up on this, but in KRS, and Norman knows this, Jason knows this, and everything in a KRS has got a definition. A word's got a definition. So what's the definition of trash? Well, and I'm sure it's in there.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's in the KRS manual. And horse manure is not gonna be under the definition of trash. Would you agree with that? I mean, without sitting here looking
Well,
at
trash,
it.
but, I mean, if Norman can write a ticket to a truck coming through town that's losing his load, what's different than that horse losing its load?
Chances are if a truck comes through town that's losing its load, we're probably gonna tell it to secure its load and put a tarp on it. That's what we normally
Yeah,
do.
but,
And I get it. I'm with you.
I know everybody's worried.
Because when they brought up the safety issue with the horses,
You
it's
got,
more, I said, no, that's not the safety issue. The
Well, you know-
safety issue is you going through town at 9 o'clock at night and us coming up on you 55 miles per hour and almost colliding.
I mean, he said that their horses are working horses and they can't do it. I said, well, there's horses in downtown Louisville that's got bags on, full buggies around.
Maybe we could develop a bag through, as fiscal court, come up with something to put on the horses.
All right, you're tasked with that.
I just appreciate somebody look into it.
Thank you, Norman. We will.
If there's a ruling, I'd like to know what judge ruled it, because I want to go talk to him.
Yeah, well,
A whole
like I
bunch of us
said,
wanna go talk to him.
I couldn't tell you, I know there was a lot of Supreme Court cases with the Amish that came up, so that's all I can tell you right now. And it might even be something that we need to probably talk with our representatives about too, because Grayson County's not the only place it's an issue.
I know.
So, that there's be some type of legislation, some kind of House bill or Senate bill or
I've
something.
talked to Steve Meredith, Carol Gibson.
What's he suggesting?
I get the same runaround with him I had y'all. I'll just be honest. Nobody wants to do nothing.
We're
And I know
not-
Steve said it takes years to get a bill.
Brian, we're not running you around. We're just telling you that our hands are tied with laws that we have to abide by. And right now, there's nothing on the books
It says a horse can use it.
that a horse can't use the restroom on.
I mean, I know Danny rides horses
So,
out on the road.
If we could wave a magic wand and solve all of everyone's problems in the county, I'd have two. Wave them. So, but we don't
You
have.
clean up when your horse does it on the road?
I tell you, traffic's so bad on my road now, I don't ride on the road, seriously. I go all the way to Mount Cave to ride my horse just about anymore, because it's dangerous out there.
Yeah.
They fly on that road.
What would be wrong if you fella erected a sign that said, look out for nasty Amish, nasty crap from nasty Amish on the side of the road? Listen now, there are people, they have self-respect and things, you know, that would embarrass them. I mean, that's a solution that you could do right now this week. Put you up a sign that says, look out for nasty crap from the nasty Amish on the road, and they won't want to be in that category.
I would highly suggest you not do that. For one, it's gonna be on a state highway, you know, with the sign, and, you know, the only thing it's doing is degrading your community too, you know, with that type of sign. So I wouldn't do that myself, but then you could, you know, but
If I was a citizen, and as the only chance I had, I might do something like that.
yeah, if somebody, you know, we can't tell you to do what you do on your own property.
There it is.
So that's the
Don't
thing.
put it in my right of way, please.
15 feet from the center. I got it.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of folks here. Anybody else want to speak on what we're talking about here with the manure in the roads? No.
Russellville had a round with them about 3 or 4 years ago. And same thing, I don't know what the outcome was, they were protesting it, some of the elders.
I think that was the Logan County deal, wasn't it, Jeremy?
Maybe, and I don't know,
Yeah. All right, we'll move on. What else we got from any of the people here? Brian, did you say you want to say something about the mud and stuff?
Yeah. I'm Brian, I live on Langdon Road. It's pretty good now. But why did I have to call the judge and sheriff, everybody, and magistrate to get you down there and cleaned up? Because it's been an awful mess.
You know, not the thing of it is we do get mud on the road, we do clean the road off. It's not changed from last year to this year, sometimes worse than others. We're here and we're putting rock down. It's going to be this issue when it's muddy and all this rain, but the thing of it is we clean it as soon as we can. We're not saying we're just going to leave it out there. It happens, we clean it off. That's what we're doing, and it don't change when you call the judge or Norman. We do the same thing.
Yeah, I think what we're going to try to do, Brian, we went down there, me and Brian and Neil, went down there the day after. I think you talked to Norman. You called up here, I called you from my
Yeah, he called me.
phone. And then we went down there, it might have been after the meeting, I can't remember, but we went down there. And Jeff was gone, we stopped to see Jeff and talked to him. And once we went down there and looked at the road, I think what would help a lot is like some of the buggies are pulling off the side of the road, dragging the mud back up on the road. And that really needs to be ditched down through there really bad. And I think a lot of that mud's running out of the parking lot. So once it dries up, of course, it's done nothing but rain for the past 2 months, it seems like. So once it dries up a little bit, we're going to go ahead and try to ditch that and rip wrap all the way around that curve. That way nobody can pull out where there's no gravel that's exposed. And I understand you're going to say, and I can tell by the look on your face, you're going to say, well, it's not going to help, but we're going to try to do what we can to help, okay? So as far as an ordinance goes, you know, it's about getting mud on the roadway. Same thing I'm going to say the last time I was here. That's doing nothing but opening Pandora's box. Because the only thing we've got is farmers all over this county that we're going to have in the sheriff's office. Somebody's going to call in and say, you all got an ordinance. You get mud in the road.
It's not every day.
But you understand what I'm saying. If
It's
a
a
farmer,
commercial business. I know farming's a commercial business, but it's listed under farm.
Well, these concrete trucks that gets rough, you know, they got,
Yeah,
that's
I
all
mean-
railroad down there now.
I understand, Darren, but that's once, how often? It's not every day. I mean, he parks his trucks. Where he parks his trucks, it's mud.
Mhm.
What's he gonna do when he heads out on the road? I've got pictures of it. He has put some gravel, but go over where he lines up all his trucks, every one of his trucks. Just be a good neighbor. And the Friday I called, it was not cleaned up. There's mud Saturday. Randy can attest to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I did go out there and scrape the edge of the road, and I did pile it up there where one of the guys parks, but I just want to see how much dirt show them how much dirt they track out on the road. It was piled up on the edge of the road that high.
Yeah.
I did not get in no ditch.
Every time that you've called, or you've called Mary Ann or called the office, we've always contacted Jeff and told him, look, Norman has, because, I mean, we're just trying to help the situation. And I mean, I know the situation for you would be for that logging company to move out.
I don't want him to move out, but he can buy enough gravel. Bailey Lumber don't truck gravel, mud out on the road.
Right, right, so,
There's umpteen companies that don't track mud out on the road. You don't drive up to a muddy lot, circle around and come back out on the road. I sat right there in the morning and they can come out, they can go out one entrance, they drive right up through the mud, come out. It's just common decency. I know their shop is up there on the hill. There's just things can be done to be a better neighbor.
well, we're gonna do what we can do. We're only allowed so much right there that we can actually do. And so we're gonna try what we can do. Maybe it'll make it better, I don't know. We're even gonna put a tile in across there where the drive is on the upper side where it turns into your drive, or to your road. And to see if some of that will actually catch, like a curtain drain of some type. And we're gonna try
It
that.
ain't gonna help when you drive through a muddy lot, come out on the road.
Yeah, well, we're gonna try that and see. And only thing I know to do is we can call Jeff and tell him, because like I said, as far as, you know, the magistrates are welcome to speak up on it. I mean, they're the ones gonna vote on it, not me. But, I think you're just, you're opening Pandora's box with magistrate or with the farmers
I
and
guess
all
we put
that.
up one of them signs.
So, I mean, that's the only thing I can tell you.
I don't,
You know, it's just like, you know, say you drive your tractor out on the road. And I mean, one of the Amish truck across the yard and use the phone and say, Brian Downs just got mud on the road. Well, then you get charged.
every
Norman runs
day,
down there and charges you because you've got a tractor too.
every
I've
day.
got a tractor and I've got mud on the road before. And so that's the thing that we don't want to, we want to help.
There is a
you.
KRS about State Highway Department can come down there, clean up and surcharge, back charge the owner. But
And
has anybody ever tried that or said anything about it?
Have you've been to the State Highway Department, haven't you?
But you're my county officials.
We don't
We've
have
all
to
been
do
in a
stuff.
meeting together with the state. I'm just looking for some help. I'm
What
asking Jeff for some help.
did the State Highway Department tell you?
Wasn't nothing they could do.
Well, I thought you said there was a KRS that said they.
Well,
could
I
do
found
whatever.
that myself. Norman's actually got copies of it. I gave them to him last year with all them signatures of everybody up there.
You sent me a lot of stuff, Brian.
No, this was actual paper I gave to you a year ago.
Oh, okay.
I'm just asking for some help.
Yeah,
And I'll ask Jeff. The reason I don't go there and talk to Jeff, I've got a temper. And it might end up ugly. And I don't want that.
Well, we don't want that to happen by far. So.
I don't want it.
But,
Brian,
just
I
like,
don't want you to come see me, but
I don't want to either.
you or Jeff.
we want to try.
Tasting you was probably very satisfactory.
We want to try to find a resolve to it that everybody's happy with. And like I said, I understand, I've talked to Jeff numerous times, and he's put down rock, and I understand it just keeps sinking and this and that. And of course, like I said, it's rained for 2 months. And when it's dry, I don't guess it's any kind of trouble. But we're going to try what we can do. And if that doesn't help, we'll just have to go down a different road. And after that, I mean, I don't know what to,
I know.
What times do the trucks usually leave? I mean, is there a certain time? And which way do they go, Jeff?
We leave usually from 4 to 6, and then
In the morning?
and then what we try to do is we try to get there as soon as the last truck leaves and check the road. The unfortunate thing is, it's when Brian's going to work and he's seeing when we're going out, and it is mud on the road. But we got a crew, as soon as the last truck goes out, we clean the road.
So the trucks go left and right when they leave your lot, right? They go out towards Caneyville or towards Shrewsbury Road.
Let's see, is that another thing? That road's only a category road. You're not even supposed to have trucks going towards Caneyville.
Yeah, it's all legal. Just You can talk to State Department, been down that road. We
Well, I
checked
mean,
all
I had a
that.
guy tell me that, and that's all I know.
We checked all that before we moved in, and, just as soon as the rain quits, we'll be putting more rock down. It's just sinking now. We put 10 loads in yesterday, and it's a mess.
But
Has
you,
any of the magistrates got discussion on anything?
I think what we look at for real, is your deal. But can't hurt it, that's for sure.
and I guess a noise ordinance is out of the question too.
Noise ordinance.
I can't even sit on my back porch.
What for?
Huh?
What is it?
From the sawmill. Now, this ain't Jeff, this is the Amish, and I went and talked to him, and they ain't gonna do that. I mean, it's just decent being a good neighbor. Jeremy said I'll never get one. Jeremy told me to sell out. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, I told you several things. One of them was that you could sue your neighbor for private nuisance as well if you don't get satisfaction here, which is in the KRS. The other thing I said is that if you're not happy, you brought up lots of issues here today, which I don't doubt that you've got. But one of those answers is to move out. You don't have to, and you're trying to solve those issues, but that is an option. You got issues in your neighborhood, you can move somewhere else. I'm not saying that insensitively, but that is an option, so.
Is, and what he's talking about, and Jeremy, you might have to help me out here. When things like this has happened in the past, and even in urban areas and rural areas too, you can actually file a lawsuit against your neighbor, which I think, didn't you direct him to do that?
I gave them the KRS number, which creates a cause of action to file a civil suit against a neighbor who is causing issues so you can't enjoy your property. He's not the only person I've recommended that to, because, the county, the noise ordinance, some of the cities have noise ordinances, the county doesn't. It's almost impossible to enforce at this, the way we are now. And so that, I give that advice pretty often, but nobody ever decides to take me up on it. Instead, they want to have confrontation, or they believe that it should be the county's responsibility, and sometimes it should be. But that option is always available for an individual who can't find peace in their home, is to bring it to the court's attention and try to resolve them that way through an injunction or whatever to stop that. So.
Yeah, and wouldn't it, and like I said, we're just discussing this, but wouldn't it be an issue if there was a noise ordinance and you can't signal out sawmills, for one? You can't just say sawmill. So then you've got a problem. Well, they're in the county, it's in the city. I don't like the blower back there on the back of Bell Cheese.
Or a grain bin. I don't know.
I don't like the noise of a grain bin. I don't like it. Matter of fact, I don't like the sound of that 120 horsepower tractor out there in the field. I don't like it.
Or kids running around on motorcycles.
So that's the problem you run into. Laws are good, but sometimes there's too many of them. And so that's just my suggestion. My suggestion would be go down the civil way with it, and see what that happens. I mean, you could talk to an attorney or local or out of town, whatever, and then tell them, say, look, this is what I'm doing, what's the chance of this happening? Because there's got to be case law on it somewhere. There's got to be. So, so you ain't the first person this has happened to, so that'd be my suggestion. But anyway. Anybody else here want to speak on anything?
I'd like to bring something up.
Yep.
Mr. Clark back there is running for state representative. He'd like to introduce himself to the court.
I actually just wanted to hide. And that'd been all right. I just wanted to kind of observe.
Yeah, go ahead.
But I am running for state representative for Grayson and West Hardin, District 18. And I'm just going to pop in at these meetings and listen to what's going on. And if anybody wants to hit me up afterwards and tell me what they think our issues are and what needs to be focused on, I've got a few ideas already from some canvassing and things. And I've lived here all my life, interacted with some of y'all. Some of y'all wish I hadn't interacted with Norman there, but Anyway, it was good. It was good. Usually anytime you gotta call them, it's not a good thing, but it ended up good, so. I like the bunch of people we've got in Grayson County, and I'd be proud to be your representative, and like I say, anybody got any issues that they want to talk to me about or whatever, I'd be glad to hear them, and or questions or whatever, but anyway, I'll go back to hiding again.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Clark. Anybody else got anything? If not, I need to tell you all, I just left the hospital board meeting, so I'd like to go into executive session with you all to give you an update on possible legal action. So entertain a motion for going to executive session. Motion by Tommy. Second by Brian. All in favor? Any opposed? You're all welcome to stay.
Me and you do that, don't we?
All right. Need a motion to come back from executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Damon, second by Tommy, all in favor? All right, we discussed possible litigation and no action was taken. All right, next thing we have on the agenda is other new business, is approve a grant contract for the Sheriff's Department to purchase vests, which is Homeland Security grant, and we just need approval to go ahead and do that. Entertain a motion. Motion by Tommy, second by Darren. All in favor? That is grant $7,315. Buy new vest is what it is.
How many will that buy, Judge? Do you know?
Probably 7, or about 900. Okay. 600 a piece? Yeah, 600 something a piece.
665.
How many vests they gonna buy, Norm? Is that the whole department? So,
We got, we'll buy whatever, however many we can get for what we got.
7315.
It says 11 down here at the bottom.
How much are they?
There's 411, that's what the grant, and they fund like a certain percentage of it.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
mine's been expired for 2 years.
Good deal. All right, guys, next thing on the agenda, we have the property I've talked to you all about individually on one of the locations is, there's actually 2 parcels, East Market Street and another's East Market Street, the other one's South Heiser Drive. There's 2 parcels Mr. Williams actually owns, and I've showed you all the locations and what we have plans to do. And Jeremy has drawn up a contract. I spoke with Mr. Williams, and he's agreed to sell us this property for $350,000, and he will finance it for us. We pay him $100,000 per year, and he charges us 0% interest. And we actually obtain the property, we get deed in hand. So, is there any questions or anything about it? I mean, I've pretty well showed you all where it goes. You've got a look on your face like you got a question, David.
No, it just matters.
Oh.
Well, we need it.
Yeah, not this time, no, no, I was just thinking, it was just hard on me to hear numbers that big. I thought.
Okay. Yeah, it's totals $350. We pay by the contract. It'd be $100,000 due in a date set in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023 would be $50. And also, what we would do is if we decided to do something as far as further expansion, which that's what we want to do later on down the road, that no penalty to pay it off at any time. So.
He still resumes liability.
Yes. Yeah, he presumes all liability on the property. So.
What if you paid it off every year, it's yours to tear them down whenever you want
Yep.
it?
Yep. Yeah, and Jeremy's got all the contract and stuff. So it should be good to go. Make a motion to purchase it. All right, motion by Darren, second by Kevin, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, next, that was for two parcels, one on South Heiser and one on East Market. Next, we have the parking lot. We actually don't have the address for this, but I met with you all individually and showed you the parking lot that we're talking about. And the Higdons actually own this property for quite some time, and they charge folks to park in there, even the people, wasn't they gonna charge you all too, Charlotte, remember y'all? Yeah, they charge the people in the courthouse to park there and this and that. It's since changed hands to Brooks Brothers Rentals LLC, and I talked to you all about it, and we didn't know the purchase price at the time, so we went ahead and been safe. We done an appraisal. They had started out asking $149, I believe, and they said they had agreed on a price of $135,000. We had it appraised, and property appraised for $140,000, and I've got the appraisal here. And if y'all want to look at it, if y'all need to look at it, it'll be on file. So that's the appraisal. Appraisal report. Dan Can's company, C&M Appraisals, which has got a bunch of different affiliates under it. So that's who actually done it. But he done it back in January is when he done it. Whenever me and you actually spoke, he done the actual appraisal. And what we're gonna do, that would be part of the property that we would use for future expansion as well. And plus, we wouldn't charge people to park there. Wouldn't charge any of the citizens or any of the employees with the courthouse, because as you all know, there's no parking on the square. So, I entertain a motion to purchase this piece of property for $135,000. If there's any discussion.
We need it. I feel like we need it.
You all have seen it and looked at it, so.
I'll make a motion, we buy it.
I'll second.
All right, motion by Darren, second by Neil, all in favor? Any opposed? All right, there's some other things we got coming up. I didn't get back and.
One more piece, wasn't there?
Yeah, I've got with her, and we're supposed to possibly, I didn't get a call back from her today, so we couldn't get anything settled on that one, so. And that's the record building back there, so we're gonna try to do that. But all this will actually tie in with our property which is the old hospital building. And I'm actually looking into for some grants through Lincoln Trail Ad to maybe tear down that facility. So the reason we moved out is because the electric bill was so high. Electric and utility bills was what we picked, $4,000 or something like that. It was ungodly how much the electric bill was. So, and
The parking lot there by Electric Deposit, who owns that?
that's actually owned by Sicilian Bank.
Okay.
And Sicilian Bank has actually told us also, if we ever do any kind of future expansion, that they would be willing to probably lease the other part of that parking lot, to the county. And so that would be the back part in between the building and the Jack Thomas house. So, of course, that's the thing, there's just really no place to park around there on the square. So, that's one reason why we wanted to do this. And plus, if we ever decide to go on with a future expansion here, that we're gonna have to have it. So, anyway, anything else? Anybody got anything? Nothing? Jeremy, we need to go over anything else? Okay. All right, I don't have anything. We've got this. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Brian, second by Tommy. All in favor? Any opposed?